Now, yesterday I taught you about the any description. Now she decided to write his life in his diary, or he named and she named the diary Kitty. Really, in diary she had written the sentences really no one could understand a word of her stories to Kitty. Really, she produced a real picture of the life that had happened. It was not a simple a notebook. There was a description of her life in the diary, and he named the diary Kitty. And the Kitty diary became the part of his life, of her life. She realized that her father was very honorable person because he did not marry with her mother till the age of 36, and she was 25. It means her mother's age was 25 and his father's age was 36 at the time of marriage. There was a close connection between father and mother. They always inspired their children to do something better. Parents loved them. But Maria has also a sister named Margot. Margot is the name of the Anne's sister. She was born in Frankfurt. She was born in Frankfurt in Germany in 1926. It means Margaret was born in 1926 in the town Frankfurt in Germany. And later on, she was born on 12 June, and it means Kitty, was born on 12 June 1929. At the age of 4, till the age of 4, she was also with her family in the Frankfurt. But due to some family problem and to see the situation of that days, her father decided to go to Holland. And he went to Holland and there he established. Her mother also went there in the month of September. While Margot, his sister, and she went to his grandmother grandmother in Achin to stay. Achin is the name of the place where her grandmother was residing. And when her father and mother established in Holland, she and her sister went to Achin to her grandmother. Now, when she went to her grandmother, she got herself admitted in the Montessori school. And she stayed there in the school for 6 years. In the class 6, her teacher was Mrs. Cupress. She was already the headmistress too. It means in the guidance of the headmistress, Mrs. Cupress, she studied up to the class 6. And now, after completing the class 6, she had to depart from there. Really, it was a memorable situation because she was loved by everyone in the school. Even the teachers and headmistresses also liked the behavior of Anna. At the time of departure, they were both in tears. It was a heart-beating farewell for her. In 1941, her grandmother fell ill and she had to have an operation. So his birthday passed. She did not celebrate her birthday due to the illness of her grandmother, to whom she loved very much. Her grandmother died in 1942, and no one knew how much she was devoted to her grandmother, how much she loved her grandmother. Nobody knew. The next birthday date came, and she celebrated her birthday by lighting candles, and also grandmother's candle was also lighted. So they were only four. Four means father, mother, Anna, and her sister Margot. They were healthy. They were leading a happy life. And so, she recalled the date 20th June 1942, because she recalled this date because she she was fully dedicated to his diary named Kitty. And she wrote Saturday 12th June 1942. And dearest Kitty, Kitty is the name of the diary. And in the diary, she described the life of the childhood, the situation of the students in the school when the result was going to be published. The students of that very school were second due to the fear of the result. Because in forthcoming meeting, the result would be published and the teacher would decide who will be promoted to the next class and who will do bad. Everyone was very serious about the result. But she was satisfied with his education. Half of the class is engaged in betting. BETTIN circle like G and his class fellow, and she laughed at the students, those who were betting for his future success. Behind him there was Cian and Jack. They were also making a bet and were planning to save the time for the holidays. Everyone was telling, you were going to pass, she were going to pass, I am not. Really, it would be a difficult situation among the students when the result was going to be published. And she realized that teachers are also human beings. And creatures on the earth. They will not spoil the life of the student. Really, she, with her friends, had no anxieties about the result. They were convinced with their performance. The only subject in which she feared was mathematics. In that way, we will only wait for the publishing of the result and be encouraged and see It means they also encourage their colleagues to don't lose your hope. Future will be favorable to them. Everyone in the school, teachers, headmistress, and his colleagues, to loved Annie. Her behavior was very fine to everyone. She loved her colleagues as well as his teachers, and she became familiar among them. Total number of the students were 9. Out of 9, 7 were male and 2 were female. The English teacher, Mr. Krissing was the mathematics teacher who was old, and his thought was also according to the ancient civilization. He was angry with Anne because Anne talked too much, and this was the reason the mathematics teacher named her Chatterbox. Chatterbox means the person who talks too much. The person who talks too much, that is called chatterbox. And so the mathematics teacher called her chatterbox. He also warned so many times not to perform such type of activities. But in spite of the warning, she used such type of activities in the class, and outside also. And so, her mathematics teacher imposed heavy home assignment to her. Really, it was a burden for her, but anyhow, she was able to perform his home assignment. The mathematics teacher also assigned her to write an essay about the chatterbox for 3 pages. Really, it was a matter of surprise for her. What would she write about the chatterbox? And she decided that that will be considered later on. In the evening, after performing her home assignment, she was turning the page. She saw the home assignment given by the mathematics teacher. It was related to a chatterbox. She decided to make a trick because the mathematics teacher told her to write in 3 pages about the chatterbox. She planned to make a trick. Keyword should be written making a gaps so that the page would be covered properly. But suddenly, she came up with an idea. She wrote 3 pages. She wrote 3 pages and about the chatter box. By making the skill of the student. Really, this is the habit of the student to talk much with their colleagues. So talking is a student's trait and it should be controlled. But she did not control herself. And so she also wrote the essay in 3 pages about the chatterbox, in which she also described about the student's habit. It means talking too much is essential for the students. They enjoyed themselves in the class. They performed different activities in different phases. And so, this is the skill, this was the skill of the student to talk too much. And afterward, when her teacher warned him not to do so, she performed the same activities because she had inherited such type of trait from her mother. And this was the reason she completed the chapter that had been given by the teacher to her. 1 time, 2 times it had been observed by the teacher, and now he was satisfied.